Hi, it's Jenny from Roadtrip Nation. We're a career exploration company that sends people out on the road to explore the country and talk to people from all walks of life about how they found fulfilling work. After 20 years of taking road trips, we found that aside from showing us some really beautiful places and introducing us to some awesome people, these road trips always teach us a lot of surprising things about ourselves. To talk more about what she learned on her road trip, here's Jackie Gamboa, who hit the road with us a few years ago and has gone on to do some truly incredible things.
I grew up in Mexico, and in high school I knew that I wanted to just explore and see what being a scientist is. So I ended up going to the University of Texas at El Paso and getting my degree in chemistry. I was the first one in my family to go through that jump.
My mom would always tell me, "You're a role model." And I was like, "No, Mom, I'm not a role model. No, don't throw that at me, okay?" But also, once I decided that I wanted to go to UTEP, my little cousins were like, "You're doing that? That is so cool." So that's when I started realizing, okay, somebody's looking up to me. This is where I grew up, and I like to give back to it.
So it was a big shock being fully immersed in another culture and missing home and just trying to adapt and trying to learn English. It's terrifying because I don't know that language and I don't know that culture. And then road trip changed that mentality. It was life-changing in the sense that it got me really comfortable in being uncomfortable. Having to travel around the country in an RV with people filming you, having a plan but not really having a plan, just being able to be uncomfortable. I was able to connect to other people that otherwise I wouldn't have met before. I was able to connect with myself, with my curiosity, and with following your gut. That was the road trip.
We're ready!
That's what drew me into what I ended up writing. That book over there. This is 5 years. Being called a doctor is pretty cool, so. Since the road trip, I have completed a PhD. I have an award-winning radio show. I have done advocacy work in DC. I have done a postdoc at Harvard and MIT. And I now work as a patent scientist at a law firm doing patent law. I ended up going to the University of Missouri for my PhD. And there were about 100 graduate students. I was the only Latina woman. I was the only Hispanic person, period. I remember using a lot of things from road trip with people that didn't look like me, with people that had these stereotypes about scientists. So if I can break those little stereotypes or biases that people have, then people can see that I'm quite accomplished. I can communicate with you, and yes, I was born and raised in Mexico. Part of the PhD programs, it's kind of pushing the boundaries of the knowledge that humanity has. And it's definitely something that drives me. I was just trying to figure out what could I do with my degree? Where could I use those skills that I learned? Just, what else can I be? If you want to find out, go on the road trip. Sometimes you just gotta be okay with being like, all right, let's see where it takes me.
If Jackie's story inspired you and you want to hit the road with us, check out the link in our description. We're always looking for new road trippers. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more stories from the road.